If you've ever stood in the barn at feeding time, wondering how much is enough, or how often is too often, this part of the app is for you. The bottle feeding tool takes a kid's age, weight, and breed, and turns that into a clear, sensible feeding plan: how much to feed, how often, and how to adjust as they grow. It even walks you through colostrum and transition milk in those first critical days, so you're not guessing or flipping through notes at a time when there is too much to do and too little time to do it. To access the bottle feeding feature, click Nutrition in the main navigation bar and click Bottle Feeding in the drop-down menu. As with most forms in the app, the bottle feeding forms are as automated as possible. They are able to pull data entered in other features, kid records in this case, in order to make data entry easier and faster. Recognizing that bottle feeding may need to begin before there is time to enter kid records, the bottle feeding forms may also be used as a standalone, fully manual module. For manual data entry, keep the manual entry selection in the Kid Select dropdown. If you have a kid birth weight, enter it in that field. If there has not been time to obtain a birth weight, the app will provide an estimated weight based on age and breed average. Simply enter a birth date, breed class, and breed, and the estimated weight will populate automatically. The birth time is optional and is used to calculate feeding times in the tables to follow. It's critical that newborn kids receive at least 10% of their birth weight in colostrum within the first 24 hours after birth. Half that amount, or 5% of birth weight, should be given in the first 6 hours. 20% of birth weight is ideal. To select that more aggressive target, click the Target Level Select dropdown and choose Higher Target. The Transition Feeding Style selector controls the feeding schedule between 24 hours and 1 week of age, when the kid is transitioning to a full milk diet. As with colostrum feeding, a more aggressive feeding style may be selected by choosing Fast Growth in the dropdown. The goal is to strike that fine balance, which is the ideal between underfeeding and overfeeding. This is where monitoring kid weights becomes so important. When a kid is weak or premature, it is less able to absorb larger feedings, and smaller, less frequent feedings are better tolerated. Select the checkbox to modify the colostrum schedule to reflect this. The output for the colostrum calculator is relatively simple. It gives the amount and frequency of feedings for colostrum and the milk transition phase. The time schedule is based on the time you entered. The start time will default to the current time if none is entered. The bottle feeding tab handles feeding from day 6 to weaning. For manual use, it behaves pretty much identically to the colostrum calculator, so I'll just use it to demonstrate automatic entry. Here, I'll choose Petunia, a kid for whom I've previously entered all the needed data through the kidding record and, subsequently, by adding daily weights. Her date of birth, age, current weight, and breed are all pre-filled from the database. In this form, there are modifiers for scours, recovering from scours, and for a weak kid, all of which require a more frequent, lower-volume feeding schedule. The output is a daily feeding plan as well as weight gain statistics to allow adjustment on the fly.